What's up, YouTube? Havically blessed, because that's what it is. We're blessed today. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to just, to be healthy, have family around me. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Whoever's watching this video, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for the support. And I just want to share a little story with you guys about a little thing that I went through, my experience with Santa Muerte. And this topic is just about things that I went through that were kind of like hectic in my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to anybody thinking that I'm here to try to make it like it's something cool or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm into the Lord now. I know a lot of people may not be, but I don't just change my life around. So I guess I want to start from when I first seen Santa Muerte. I remember, just gonna rewind. I went to my homie's house, and I remember walking in the room. It was me, my homie Cesar, and my homie Orlando. And I remember just going into his room, and I remember he had it in his closet. It was like on top of the closet, you know what I mean? Like on an altar. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I started tripping out. And right away, type of person that I've been, is, I get a vibe from like energies right away. So I just remember feeling like a crazy like energy from it. Like I didn't even want to look at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like kind of scared, but I wasn't like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? I was just fucking like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not even gonna look at it, you know what I mean? But that was when I first seen it, and I wasn't really like I said, I wasn't really like into it at first. I was just like, you kind of just don't pay attention to things that you don't know about, you know what I mean? So onto that, back at this time in my life, I was doing a lot of drugs. I was running around a lot. So eventually, fast forward to another time I went back over to that house. He had a brother too, and his brother, me and his brother were pretty close at the time. And we used to like get high and shit. I'd go over and you know what I mean, go kick it with him and did whatever we did. Well, at the time I went over there, and I was with my homegirl. And this time we walked into his garage. We didn't go into his house. But let me remind you again, I was with his brother at the time. So once again, I showed up over there, and this is where it starts getting like pretty crazy. Like for me, like I start really experiencing like a lot of stuff at this time in my life. And so we're chilling, and I'm in his garage, and I see the altar again, and I'm like, it's crazy how the altar is, how she's sitting on it. And I realized that she had like two L's, and there's a lot of like symbolism, but I didn't understand none of that at the time. To me, it was just creepy. Like I didn't want nothing to do with it, you know what I mean? But now that I'm older, and I know that we experience things in our lives that we may not want to, but we learn from them, you know what I mean? That's how we get wisdom from all that stuff. And so anyways, that night he's like, hey, you want to kick it with me? Because I was gonna bounce, and I was like, yeah. I was like, fuck it, I'll kick it with you, you know what I mean? So we ended up he's doing tattoos that night, and we get down on some tattoos, and I remember I picked a few out, and I'm trying to think, like, picked a few out, and then we were done. And then later that night I told him, like, hey, like, how does that work? How does that, like, what do you do? And he was basically telling me, like, you do like offerings to her, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be bad. You could do like whatever you want. Like you give her a cigarette, or you give her like money or whatever you want at the time, right? So I'm like, is it cool if I give her something? He's like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's bad. It's not bad. So I'm like, okay. So I like put a cigarette up there, and right when that happened, it's like I felt like everything from that beyond that point like started like I was in a different like realm, like a spiritual realm, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like bad things were happening to me. It was just, you could feel it. So the next day I left, I came back, and we were chilling the next night, and I remember he was doing some stuff and some offerings and stuff, and I remember like I was like, hey, I asked him again. I was like, could I give her something else? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. So anyways, this second time around, um, everything starts changing again. And I remember that night we were gonna go hit a lick. We're gonna go to the store, and like I said, just telling you guys, like at this time in my life, I was fucking, you know what I mean? I was all high on drugs and shit. So I was telling him like, hey, fucking, we're gonna go to the store, and I'm gonna go steal some clothes and stuff so we can come up on some money. Well, long story short, his cousin's like, I'll give you a ride. So like I said, let me remind you, everything's going on. Start feeling like just something's like watching over me, you know what I mean? And so we started driving, and he's taking me to go to the store so I could jack some shit. And like I said, on her altar, she has the 2 L's. Well, we're driving, and out of nowhere, an owl flies right in front of the car. I'm talking like so close that like his feet touched the window. And I remember looking over at his cousin, and his cousin just like hit the brakes, like, whoa. And like, I always play it back in my mind, the way the owl like flew right in front of the car. I mean, it was literally like, I just tripped out. I remember it was like flying in front of me, flying away. And the only thing that I can think of is like, man, that was like, what the fuck? Like, was that real? Did that just really happen right now? I'm talking like, it flew so close in front of the car, bro. And that owl is so huge. I mean, that thing was probably, fuck. I mean, I don't know, but it was huge. It was big. And I started tripping out. I'm like, is that, you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I would think that just happens all the time. Obviously, that doesn't happen all the time, you know what I mean? So, and long story short, we go to the store, and I'm going there, and I start doing my thing or whatever, and I come back out, and his cousin left me at the store. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like I start tripping again. I'm like, how is this fool knowing that I'm gonna go fucking, you know, jack some stuff, and fucking he's just gonna leave me at the store? So right in my mind, I'm start thinking like, maybe he was scared or something, because, you know, a lot of Mexicanos, they think that like Santa Muerte, you know, if they're not into that, they think that's like a bad thing, like a scary thing, like you're gonna die right away. So I'm thinking like this fool got all scared and he fucking took off or something. And anyways, I end up finding my way back, all the way back, because I'm on the other side of town. And I ended up finding my way back to his house, and fucking I walk in, and I'm like, how the fuck are you just gonna leave me? Anyways, his cousin was like, you're making me look bad. Like, how could you just leave him at the store? And anyways, yeah, point of the story is that was just a crazy time for me. I mean, that was literally like in the moment when I offered her something, but I felt like it was, you know, she was telling me something like, hey, that, you know, her owls are supposed to be like her messengers. And like I said, I'm not into that anymore, but I had some crazy experiences with her just during that time of my life. It was really crazy. It was really it was a hectic time, and you know what I mean. Now that I'm, you know, into God and stuff, I don't even pay attention to none of that stuff. But I thought I would share that story. But it almost gives me like chills on my bodies of thinking back on that time in my life, because, you know, me telling the story now it's, you know, just listening to me, it's not the same of like when I went through it, like, you know what I mean? That, you know, I just want to say like that kind of stuff is real. Like, yeah, you know, that's something that you should think about if you were to ever get into that. But I want to lead people the right way to be into more, you know, into God now. And that's just something that I don't think you should open doors to, period. But for me, you know, obviously it was something that it was a learning experience, and, you know, it humbled me just to be, you know, more smart about, you know, there are things that I feel that, you know, that we should think about, and people that were around, and nothing against them, but it was definitely a crazy experience for me when I was going through that. But anyways, that was my experience with Santa Muerte, and you know, there was a lot more other things that came with it. But yeah, we'll end for now, right now, and next video, you know, maybe leave some comments down below. Let me know if you guys want me to, you know what I mean, maybe like different topics I should talk about. I don't know, something just to get me, you know, to have some new ideas, and just let me know. All right, God bless you guys, And this is Havocly Blessed TV. And we're not going to stop. We're going to stay positive. Let's go.